Bodies, bodies, bodies. Wait a minute. We have a baby on board. What up, what up? I'm Modi J. This is my last thoughts and exclusive photos for episode 6 of Power Book 4 Force. And we know that Tommy and Mira are potentially expecting a baby. That means something bad has to happen to Mira sometime soon. From the look of this, it appears that Mira has finally told Tommy that she's pregnant, and they're sitting down and actually thinking about what's the next step. Now, we know Tommy always wanted a child. He was fine with cash, but it ain't nothing like having your own baby. And with Mira being pregnant, he's definitely going to be moving a little bit differently in the city streets of Chicago. Now, once Miguel finds out about this, we know he's going to be very upset, and this beef is going to have to stop, because at the end of the day, Tommy is still going to be the father to your either nephew or your niece. But before we finish this off, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell. Let's get the channel to 60,000 subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you. Let's jump into the exclusive photos for episode 6 of Power Book 4 Force. It looks like this episode, we're going to get a lot of Jard's story, him and Diamond moving forward. Since we seen them team up with each other, both of them went to go talk to Che. But the last thing we seen from Shanti was her going with Tommy and telling Tommy that Diamond and Jard, they're in it for themselves. Now, she may be trying to separate herself away from Jard because she's realizing he really isn't capable of taking out his brother Diamond. We always seen that he was hesitant whenever she asked him, are you willing to take out your brother? So with that being said, Claudia is out the picture. This is a perfect opportunity for Shanti to backdoor Jard and go team up with Tommy, because now you need some work. You need somewhere to put the dope at, because Elise is gone. Now, I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but that could be something good for Shanti. She starts building her own organization. Her and Manny Fresh, they team up via Tommy. Mayor Select Stacy Marks, she's in the pocket of Tommy Egan at this point. There's really not much she can do, because that's $1.5 million that she has that came from Pageant Inc. via Tommy. Now, Vic, he has an upper hand on her. He's pretty much the liaison now. Even though she has a phone, she still has to go to Vic. And maybe Vic can help her out with trying to backdoor Tommy and end up getting him locked up so they can both get out of this. But she's going to have to promise Vic, if I'm the mayor, I'll get all your charges dropped. I'll be able to get you that protection. A little more than what she was doing when she was actually using Vic before she found out that she was getting played. So Vic, he still got to stick around with this because his life is still on the line. We know that Tommy took out his sister Claudia, and the same could happen for him. But he's also trying to build up his crew and let everybody know the Flynn's, they ain't going to get pushed over. So we're going to see how this plays out. But Stacy Marks, she's in debt. Ever since Jard convinced Diamond to be a man and step up and hold CBI down like he's supposed to, these two been off doing their own thing. Can we trust these two to handle business? I don't know, because this isn't 15 years ago. So we know it isn't the 2010s when Diamond got locked up. This is 2025. And at this point, no one in Chicago can really be trusted. We know Che got everyone working. The coalition is falling apart. Beefs are starting up all throughout the city, and you can never be too sure who is with who. And with that being said, King Kylo is still trying to get confirmation that Mad Dog actually robbed old boy before they deleted him. Jard needs to do that. I mentioned earlier about the Jard and Shanti situation. I don't believe that Jard is going to set his brothers up like everyone's been saying. Yeah, I always call him a junkie, but still, it's starting to look like me and my brother, we're getting back on the same page. We're running CBI how we're supposed to. He's actually standing up to Tommy. So this is a win-win for them. If the brothers can get CBI and get what other little crews they can out of the coalition, this will set them back up as a major player. Being that major player, we see Che, he got Miguel, Tommy, and Diamond. So Tommy knows about Diamond and Jard going to meet with Che, taking out the Yardies, but he doesn't know that Che is supplying them with some dope. So this might get exposed. Che may say, hey, Diamond, I see you're doing a good job with that extra 10 that I gave you. And Tommy's going to be like, what? But Tommy's going to play it cool. Miguel might trip out, but Tommy will play it cool and wait till they away from Che to address anything that's going on. But Che has all of his workers out here, so he's just making it understood. Listen, The pipeline is open. Y'all got the coalition, y'all got the Serbs, y'all got the Albanians, but no one knows that Miguel is messing with Ortega behind everyone's back. So that's going to definitely be something that could throw Miguel off as far as being loyal to Che and Che looking at him differently. But the beef between Tommy and Miguel is about to escalate. Now, Mira is that piece right there that once you remove her from the situation, these two might have to work together in the near future. The one competent officer we do have is Bobby DeFranco. Now, him and Stacy Marks are going through the divorce, but what we see him doing is his own little investigation. Remember, he was the one that popped up and said all these bodies are dropping because of the fentanyl. Now, if he does a little bit of digging, he'll be able to find out about the whole Vic and Tommy situation as far as them donating funds to Stacy Marks. If he believes that Vic is doing anything, because he knows that Vic is a witness, he knows because he was working with him last season and he still sees him with Stacy Marks. Bobby DeFranco is going to be the linchpin that holds all of this together. Now, if he gets thrown off of his rocker, then of course we're going to see power play out. Hopefully he sticks around for a little bit and he helps piece things together so we can get the show going as far as trying to expose somebody. Now, with that fentanyl, we know about the guy Bolo that was robbed by D-Mac. That's going to come back to play a role pretty soon with us only having 4 episodes left. So if they can follow the fentanyl and if they see that Jannard has some or somebody in CBI has it, they're going to trace it back and then they can put all these bodies on CBI. Tommy has a decision to make. Is he going to keep Vic around for the long game or cut him off and do him like he did his sister? Is he going to keep the baby, which I definitely think he is, and he's going to be very overprotective, and he's going to start telling Diamond, man, I got to move different. I always wanted a kid, so I got to make sure I make it home, which is going to be good for him because we do know that Tommy needs to slow down, especially knowing that he has millions of dollars just stashed away. And then also, the whole Diamond and Jannard situation. Once he finds out that Diamond has that work or Diamond has something to do with D-Mac potentially being unalived, Tommy is going to really, really have to reevaluate everyone in his circle and probably go back to just being solo and trying to make things happen. Now, I think this is where we're going to get that turning point and we're going to start to see these decisions being made in episode 6. All right, there you go. Some of the exclusive photos from episode 6 of Power Book 4 Force and my last thoughts. Let me know what you think about this. What's a major death that could potentially happen? What is your predictions? Where was I wrong? Let me know what you think down below. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Let's get this channel to 60,000 subscribers. Hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.